Hello, hello, Minmax Munchkin back. I don't know if you can see. You should be able to. If not, I'm gonna restart. Yeah, everything is visible. Nice. Alright, hello everybody. Um, it's kind of like a pre-planned, half-planned stream. I wanted to make it yesterday, but as some of you know, I had some technical difficulties. I pretty much bricked my PC by attempting to put an old hard drive from an old laptop that no longer works, which I used to edit my videos for like 2 or 3 years. And well, after I did that, I had some problems to solve before I was able to do anything pretty much on my current setup. But now that all of that is behind me, I think it's time that we actually dive into the newest addition to the 5th edition source books. It's called Van Richten's Guide to Ravenloft. It's kind of like an expansion upon the Curse of Strahd, which was an adventure that also provided some limited character creation options. Now you get a little bit more stuff, and all of that stuff, at least most of it, has been actually just used from the old Unearthed Arcanas, which some of them I already talked about, some of them I skipped. Today we are gonna kind of like go back to some of that, review it again, talk about it a bit more, because now all of that is pretty much official. And yeah, I think like it's time that we actually pay some attention towards it, right? The link to DnDBeyond is gonna be down below. You can, I don't know, you can probably find this wherever you're shopping anyway, like Amazon or whatever. So yeah, about that, I think I'm done. And yeah, let's kind of like just jump into this thing. Now, first and foremost, I have to say the image, the art that they used for this book, I kind of like it the most compared to pretty much anything else that's came out recently. There's just something about this image. Um, you know, Strahd. I mean, this is Strahd, right? Just kind of like ominously looking above. Kind of looks cool, you know. It pretty much caught my attention, and then I was like, yeah, let me actually see what this is about. And yeah, what's up, Shane Harper? The book is I haven't I kind of like went through it a little bit, through some of these character creation options, but I didn't really ponder too deeply. So this is gonna be the first time that I'm gonna pretty much gonna be doing it. And yeah, well, welcome. I don't know, sit back, grab some popcorn or whatever. This is probably going to last. I don't know. If I was to place a bet, I would say that there's no way this lasts less than an hour. Because you know me, when I don't have a script, I usually just go on and on about some stupid little detail, which I talk about for like 10 minutes. But yeah, anyway, without going too much deeper into like already losing my train of thought, um, this channel is mostly focused on character creation. Um, so I'm going to mostly focus on character creation in this book. There's like a bunch of stuff in it. I might touch monsters if we have time. It's already like almost midnight here, and I don't think we will. Maybe some other time. We'll see. So yeah, mostly this is a channel about character creation. So let's start with that, right? Um, so yeah, basically there's, as far as I can see, they gave you, the designers whoever made this book, they decided to like provide a lot of these like options that build upon your character idea, kind of like give it a bit more flavor. So I'm not gonna go too much into flavor. The art is amazing. That's pretty much on you to decide, for you to discuss with the DM or whatever. By the way, is the chat window? Yeah, the chat window is kind of. I should put it here. I don't know, like maybe here. Yeah, seems like that's the best place. Anyway, yeah. So prepare to be scared. It's a Ravenloft is supposed to be this like scary horror type of place. You know, Curse of Strahd is that type of campaign. Yeah, I'm gonna cover everything, Pedro. I'm actually gonna go through all of this. There's really not that much stuff, but I'm gonna try to cover all of it. And yeah, it's probably gonna take a while because you know me, as I've said, I talk for I like to talk. I like to talk a lot. Um, when I start talking. So yeah, habits of horror heroes. All of this pretty much seems flavor. Not gonna go too deeply into it. What I'm gonna go into is the fact that this kind of like new design approach that's been introduced in Tasha, which states they even like mentioned in the Unearthed Arcana of the Gothic lineages. They pretty much took all the three races from the Gothic lineages Unearthed Arcana and they just made them official. But yeah, this new kind of like design approach from Tasha's Cauldron of Everything, these changes to racial traits, they follow in those footsteps in this book as well. So if your DM doesn't allow Tasha, most DMs do, but if your DM doesn't, then you're pretty much mostly out of luck with these races as well, because I pretty much looked over them and they don't give you ability score in bonuses like usual racial bonuses, right? Um, yeah, Undead Warlock is it's I talked about it in the video. You can find it somewhere on my channel. I don't know, but I talked about that. I think it was Subclasses Part 4, Unearthed Arcana. And yeah, they didn't really nerf it. Yeah, I agree. It's not overpowered, but it's definitely more powerful than most other warlocks. But yeah, I'm not gonna skip back and forth. Let's just kind of like go with what we have. So yeah, lineages, they pretty much just kind of like decided to follow the Tasha's Cauldron of Everything design approach. So again, if your DM doesn't allow it, you probably won't be able to play these three races. Tough luck, you know, because they don't give you ability score bonuses. They just kind of like let you choose them, and that's the core design change in Tasha's Cauldron of Everything. One of them, right? Languages, again, your choice, and you can even choose the. Well, I mean, you cannot really choose, but it's implied that um well, I mean, okay, so it actually says a race option presented here tells you what you're. Okay, I assumed incorrectly. So it actually does provide it to you. Okay, well, I mean, that makes sense. So now I'm actually interested whether they went with the experimental. I mean, this is experimental playtest stuff where they introduce these like undead options and construct options and all of that, right? So Dhampir, what I don't know how to pronounce that. How do you pronounce this? Dhampir? I think so, right? Um yeah, I'm gonna go over everything, Kenji. Just sit tight. So yeah, anyway, all of this seems like flavor, dark vision, whatever. I find it funny how DnDBeyond, like it auto links dark vision wherever it is mentioned, even though it's not mentioned. So this is just kind of like briefly in passing mentioned, but it still links it. So yeah, it's pretty much probably hard coded somewhere in the content management platform that whenever there's like a mention of the word, it links to the explanation of what it is. I don't know, like, it's just something weird about it. I don't know why I'm even talking about. Anyway, moving on. So why am I scrolled all the way down? Anyway, hungers. All right, so there's 8 of them here, 6 of them here. They removed esoteric humors and a color from one's appearance. What? Um. So this is actually the first time I'm even going through this. What is this? Wait, are you actually like stealing somebody's skin color? Oh, that's weird. Yeah, I they definitely. Yeah, I don't know why they're even found. Is that it? Like, am I a color from one's appearance? Like, what color? Skin color, clothes color. What is this? Oh man. Okay, yeah, it makes sense. But yeah, anyway, so they removed those. It's pretty much this is flavor, right? Whatever you choose, it's gonna be like how you what like what type of vampire you want to play. It's not a vampire, but it's a vampiric character, right? So, yeah. Origins, they seem to be the same. It's pretty much copy paste, right? No, not really. Mostly copy paste. Yeah, some like wording changes. That's fine. So there's like information about where they come from, blah, all of that. Not gonna spend too much time on that. That's on you to choose what like kind of background your character has. But okay, so humanoid. So they removed the undead. I wonder why. Probably because like all of the healing spells in the game. Correct me if I'm wrong, but I think I'm right. There's like not a single healing spell in the game that works on undead, right? Is that correct? Hold on, let me actually check. Should we like somebody in the chat probably knows. I don't think there's a single healing spell in the game. All of them, yeah, doesn't work on undead on con. Doesn't, yeah, like none of them work on. So that's probably why they removed the undead, right? Makes sense. Makes sense, right? By the way, yeah, let's turn on some spooky music. Probably that's. Let me know if you hear it. By the way, if it's too quiet, let me know. I'm gonna turn it up a bit. So yeah, they removed the undead. Makes perfect sense because mechanically you would never be able to heal Dhampir if it's an undead, right? So on one end, it kind of it would be cool to be an undead type of adventure, like real undead, but at the same time, like you would be so far behind in terms of like you would be at a disadvantage that's not even, it wouldn't be fun to play. So yeah, but that's like a very specific case, Shane Harper. So yeah, I don't know. It's I can definitely see why they removed it for that. Anyway, size, choose the size, whatever. Speed, a little bit more speed. So ancestral legacy. All right. So you can keep following. Okay, so you can keep the skill proficiencies and the special speeds. Climbing, flying, or okay. You gain proficiency in 2 skills. Hold on, if you don't keep those, oh, okay, so you can choose, you can either choose the skill proficiencies and like special climbing, flying, or swimming speeds from your like previous race, because you were something else before you became a Dhampir. It's like a lineage, right? It's not a specific race. You become a Dhampir. You could have been an elf, right? It even says somewhere in here, I think. Oops, never mind. So yeah, I mean, makes sense. I mean, makes sense to have this trait, to be honest. But at the same time, so if you were something else and now you're this, it definitely doesn't make sense that you can stack. Let's say you're a dwarf, so all of those dwarven traits on top of the, you know what I mean? Yeah, this chat window, I don't know, like it really, it kind of like where doesn't fit anywhere. Hold on, let me put it here. Yeah, okay, nice. But at the same time, it's kind of, I mean, you can always have 2 skill proficiencies, but what I'm seeing with this, you're probably gonna always take Arakokra, like a feral tiefling, I don't know, water genasi, those types of races that give you these types of like special speeds, some skill proficiencies, Yeah, because speeds are usually more important than skill proficiencies. Why would you ever take 2 skills instead of like flying, climbing, and swimming speed? Like these 3 modes of speed, like kinds of speed, are usually better than skill proficiencies. You can usually have enough skill proficiencies from your background and your class, and maybe some feats. Yeah, Arakokra Dhampir, yeah. Exactly. Flying speed of 50 feet. Yeah, I mean, why not? I don't know if from a purely like optimization, maybe power building standpoint, I would probably go with the first paragraph. Most likely, I don't know. It depends, you know. But I would like to have some like special speed instead of like just another skill or 2, whatever. So Dark Vision, that makes sense. Deathless Nature, that wasn't even a thing in here. So yeah, that didn't make any sense. Like a vampire that breathes, that has to breathe? Come on. Spider Climb, that seems to be the same. Vampiric Bite. That's a lot of words. Alright, so it doesn't work on constructs or undead. It's a constitution. I don't think there's like a single natural weapon, which also counts as a simple melee weapon. So you can buff it. It's a simple melee weapon, you can buff it. Oh, okay, so this is gonna cause problems with Booming Blade and the Green Flame Blade. I'm not gonna talk about Booming Blade and Green Flame Blade in this video, in this live stream. But what I'm just gonna say, that change, if you know what I'm talking about. Let me actually just kind of like open it up while I'm talking about it. So, that change that was introduced with the Booming Blade and Green Flame Blade was not made so that these kinds of things, you know, Shadow Blade, Vampiric Bite, for example, so that those kinds of spells, traits, features don't work anymore. That change was made, and I even have receipts for it. I might actually make a separate video for it. But for now, I'm just gonna say this, and you're gonna have to trust me. That change was made because the old iteration of these spells, the material component was a melee weapon. That's just it. And the general, like the default rules of 5th edition state that if a material component doesn't have a cost associated with it and isn't consumed, you can use a spellcasting focus or a component pouch instead of that material component. So you could have theoretically cast Booming Blade and Green Flame Blade with a component pouch. That's the reason for the change in these spells. As we all know, rules as written and rules as intended sometimes clash. This is one of those instances. So yeah, I would say in this case you can definitely use Booming Blade and Green Flame Blade with Vampiric Bite. I would allow it as a DM, and Jeremy Crawford also agrees that this change was not made so that these types of like traits, spells, and features no longer work with these cantrips. Booming Blade and Green Flame Blade. So yeah, anyway, I'm not gonna just ramble about it anymore. Let's just focus on the task at hand. Constitution modifier instead of strength, that's fine. Oh wow, you even have advantage if you're missing hit points. So you want, oh, okay, hold on. So Constitution modifier, this would be amazing on a Barbarian. Barbarians need Constitution for, oh wow, this would actually be a very good Barbarian, right? Because you can just focus on Constitution and Dexterity. Most Barbarians need to focus on Constitution, Strength, and Dexterity, because you need Dexterity and Constitution for your armor class, and then you need Strength for attack rolls. Undead Warlock, Conquest Paladin. Yeah. You can smite on it. Yeah, definitely. Like, you can smite with the Vampiric Bite. That's weird. Yeah, that's kind of weird. But it's a simple melee weapon. Hey, you're proficient with it. It counts. I think they made this specifically so that it can be used with smites. It can be used with, I don't know, whatever else triggers off of the weapons, right? Simple or martial weapons, melee weapons. The damage is not the best, but if like you need to focus on Constitution anyway. Every character needs at least 14 Constitution. If you're playing a character with less than 14 Constitution, I'm not gonna say anything. I'm just gonna say that. Well, yeah. I mean, don't do that. You regain hit points. Okay, so you can heal your. Hold on. Equal to the peer. Oh wow, this. How can we buff this damage? So rage is definitely one way. Smite. Oh, but it has to be a piercing damage. Oh, okay. So it's okay. I got it. So it has to be something that buffs your weapon damage directly. Like it increases the damage of the weapon itself. I mean, there's ways. Like there's spells. Like you can cast magic weapon on it. Yeah. It's still like, hold on. Even if it's a d4, I know it's a low damage die, but when you stack your con modifier, which is at least +3, but you know, it can be a +4 easily once you hit level 4. So now you're rolling 1d4 +4 and like stacking rage on top of it. So that's 1d4 +6. So you're healing yourself every time when you attack. Oh, hold on. It's limited. Okay. So you can only use it like 2 or 3 times, maybe 4 per long rest. So it's not super overpowered, okay? But it's like if you get damaged, this is nice. Oh, you're right. Rage is for strength attacks. You're correct. It doesn't stack. You're right, Game Cavalier. Yeah, I forgot about that. Yeah, reckless attack has to be with strength too, right? Damn, yeah. I was like, I just, my brain went to unarmed defense and I just forgot about everything else. Yeah, you're right. Yeah, you're right. Yeah, this won't work. But this is interesting. Like, I think this is the first time ever that one of the official options for character customization uses Constitution for melee attacks. I know that some races like Genasi, for example, use Constitution for spellcasting, so there's a precedent for that. But this is like, is there any other race that uses Constitution? I don't think so. Yeah, so it's usually Dex or Strength. It's almost always Dex and Strength. Other than Hexblade, but that's not a race. That's a class. Yeah, like I forgot about that. So I was like immediately, oh, like heard they're a barbarian. Yeah, but no. Anyway, this is interesting. So you can even give yourself. Wow. Okay, so you gain a bonus. So if you really need to hit. So the only limiting factor about this is like when you really need this, it's gonna be low damage. So we need to figure out a way to bump up the damage. I don't know, I'm gonna think about it. It's interesting. Yeah, but Dragonborn Breath is not an attack. It's an action option. It's not a weapon. It's called a weapon, breath weapon. I don't know if the trait is even called a weapon, but whatever it is, let's call it. Mechanically, it's not a weapon. This is like a legit weapon, natural, simple melee weapon that uses a con modifier. Yeah, I mean Hexblood, Hexblade. That's a mouthful. It's a thematic fit, but yeah, I'm gonna talk about it. This is interesting. I don't think this is overpowered or anything. I think this falls in line. This is kind of like a middle of the road. It's probably above average a bit. I don't know. Any race that has dark vision is usually better than races that don't have it. Darkness is one of like the most annoying factors to deal with when you don't have dark vision. So I'd say this is playable. I don't know. Like, I don't think it's just kind of like middle of the road. Yeah, but this is not unarmed attack, you know. So this is a simple melee weapon that counts as a natural weapon. You don't make unarmed attacks with this, if you know what I mean. I know it's confusing, but mechanically you cannot use this with monk. So yeah, I mean, you can definitely increase damage with Hunter's Mark and all of that, but it has to be piercing damage dealt by the... yeah, I mean, Hunter's Mark, yeah, there's ways to do this. Maybe like... Oh man, Blood Hunter. I know it's not an official class. It's made by Matthew Mercer. But, oh man, it would be really nice to play like a Blood Hunter Dhampir. Imagine that. That'd be... It is a simple melee weapon. Yeah, but... Oh yeah, you're proficient with it. You're right. So yeah, the new monk... Yeah, you're right. Like, the new monk has that feature which allows it to use one weapon it's proficient with as a monk weapon. So that's been added in Tasha. Yeah, you're actually right, Shane. No, not just Kensei monk. It's actually every monk. Hold on. Let me actually find it. I think I'm right. Optional class features. Yeah, it's this. A dedicated weapon. Whenever you finish a short or long rest, you can touch one weapon, and then that weapon counts as a monk weapon until you use this. So the weapon must be simple. It is simple. Must be proficient with it. It is. It must lack heavy and special properties. So this, yeah, you're right. Yeah, I forgot about this. Like optional class feature. That's right. Yeah, you're right. Blood Hunter would not work. It's elemental damage. Yeah. It would still be cool. I was talking about it more about just kind of like coolness factor. You're a vampire, but then you hunt vampires. Yeah, it's like something about it, you know. The duality of Dhampir. Anyway, I spent like how much time? Half an hour on one raid. We need to go on. Hexblood. Alright, so what is this? There's something about hags. Yeah. Heir of hags. Martial arts. It works. Monk weapons. You know. Why would it not work? Yeah, but... Yeah. Yeah, but... Oh, yeah, you're right. Simple melee weapons. That don't have the two-handed or heavy property. Yeah. Yeah. You're right. Interesting. So, like, Vampire Monk is the most viable... Well, that's a... that's a thing. Oh, dude. That's interesting. Yeah, but we spent too much time on Dhampirs. Yeah, let's move on. Okay, so the fact that this is a simple... Let's just end it like this. The fact that this is a simple melee weapon opens up a lot of possibilities that other races that have natural weapons which don't count as simple melee weapons don't have. Let's just end it as that. I know wording is a bitch, and you know, like, sometimes you can just kind of like get caught up in rules as written, but yeah, it's a simple melee weapon. It's not just a natural weapon, so it opens up like you can smite with it. Monk definitely does it. Sadly, it uses constitution modifiers, so you cannot You cannot. It's not a best barbarian. Um, it's kind of like a lousy barbarian, to be honest. But yeah, like everything else, like fighter, that it's not the best damage. Okay, I'm gonna try to make a character with this. It's probably not gonna be the best character. It might even suck, but I just kind of like want to make something cool with this. Because it would be nice to just bite somebody and just like Eldritch Smite, Divine Smite, just kind of like kill something with a bite. That'd be amazing. Oh man, like just your teeth go to the ultra supernova territory with the damage. God damn. Um, I know it's not gonna be the most optimal character, but like this is just it's too juicy not to do something with this. Hexblood padlock work. I don't know, dude. Like, yeah, I haven't run the numbers either. I'm just kind of like these are my first impressions. I'm just kind of like skimmed through this. I don't know. I didn't really give too much thought about how to optimize all of these things, as you can see, obviously. So Hexbloods are these like phage creatures, right? Yeah, Fey or humanoid. At least from the Unearthed Arcana type of thing. So, Heir of Hags, Origins. Gonna skip all of this. It's all flavor. The art is... So, when I look at this, like, I think, why are all of them elves? I know they're not elves. I mean, they've been given Feyish things, stuffs, whatever. English is hard by the hags. So they kind of like resemble. They definitely look Feyish, right? But I would like to have something like, I don't know, just imagine like a Goliath that's been turned into Hexblood, and then a dwarf that's been turned into Hexblood, and then I don't know, again Arakokra, because why not? Like just flying, right? That'd be even a more. I mean, I'm not talking trash. This looks really good, but it would be fun to see, right? It'd be very fun to see. So you're still... Oh, actually you're just a Fae. You cannot choose a humanoid anymore. That's interesting. So there's precedent for that. I think Satyrs from the Theros book, and then definitely Centaurs. They are just Fae. They are not humanoids. So this is like a third Fae option. So they are definitely running with the Fae. I don't know if this is like a new design choice or whatever, but there's like... We are getting these like fake creatures, you know, a lot of them. Every once in a while we get one or two new, right? So, yeah, I don't know what to think about it. It's just a fact. So, yeah. Ancestral Legacy seems to be the same. So, I'm gonna assume the Reborn has the same thing? Yeah. Yeah. So, it's been given to everybody. So, it's... Yeah, okay. Let's kind of like go over this. So, Dark Vision, again, okay. Eerie token is probably magic token, and then... Yeah. So... once you cast it, you can... Okay, you can also cast... So this is the same. Right? Long rest? Yeah. Yeah, so this is the same. Copy-paste. But magic token seems to be reworded. Or changed. Is it buffed or nerfed? Yeah. Double smite on a bite. Yeah, you just freaking annihilate somebody with your teeth. Completely rip them apart. So what there's like a lot of words here. Okay. So you leave a token somewhere, and then you observe through it? How do you even... Oh, wow, hold on. So every day you create a token, right? Every day. And then immediately your missing part regrows. Well, that's interesting. So you just leave your like nails, tokens, and teeth everywhere? Oh my, that's... Just imagine the amount of... Oh my lord, this would... Okay, this is the type of trait that can give a DM so much headache. So much. Imagine if you're really being annoying with this. And every day, you specifically, even if like the most randomest place, you leave this thing. Right? I'm not, by the way, I'm not saying you do this. This is... If you really go hard with this, and I'm your DM, I would probably tell you to stop. Or at least, like, curb your excitement. But I mean, or at least not do it for the lols, you know, because you can definitely troll with this. Like, every day you go through some forest, you leave a tooth somewhere, and then you just kind of like... You catch my drift? Like, whatever cave, whatever dungeon, whatever treasure hoard, whatever toilet, whatever, I don't know, castle, palace you visit, you just kind of like leave your body pieces. And you can... What? That's... What? Wow, actually that's... Now that I think about it. What is the limit of this? This seems abusable as hell. Like, you can legitimately at level 1 have the power of scrying, which is like what, level... What is the... like, level 7, right? Oh, I forgot what level it is. Jesus. 5, whatever. It's a high level spell anyway. This is like a scrying level effect. Oh, sure, you need to be 10 miles, so it's not unlimited. But still, come on. I mean, you can cover... So it's limited. Alright, I get it. But still, man, there's... If you're playing... Imagine a campaign that you're playing like... Okay, imagine Phandelver, right? Everybody knows what Phandelver is. You're playing in an area that's like within 10 miles. You're operating within a 10-mile radius, diameter, or whatever. You just leave your teeth everywhere, right? And then you can just spy whenever, wherever. Okay, okay, sure. Okay, a DM can say these types of races are only in Ravenloft, therefore, how can you expect to be a Hexblood in Phandelver? That a DM can tell you no, but still, like, if a DM lets you, and I'm just kind of like painting a picture. Some DMs like those like small area campaigns that take place in like a very small geographical area, but it's like rich in NPCs, locations, mysteries. This is abusable. I know, but you can do it every day, Carmen Steel. I know it expires, but imagine like if you really like... I don't want to spend too much time on this, but like if you go somewhere and like I don't know, like some important NPC tells you leave, and you just kind of like pick out your nail or whatever, like a hair off of your head, leave it on the floor, and then you observe what's happening. So for example, you wanna rob some shop. I don't know why I'm immediately turning to crime here, but I'm trying to paint a picture. You can do this easily, like by like you can observe from inside. It's like a bank heist, right? Or whatever. There's like a lot of situations that you can use this. I know it's limited, it's 10 miles, it expires, whatever. But yeah, I mean, it's interesting. It's interesting. And telepathic message, I don't know why I skipped this. This is like This is like a sending spell, but it's limited to 10 miles. It's useful. It's useful. This is definitely more situationally abusable. Okay, so this is not something that you're gonna be able to use probably even very often. But I can see situations where this can be very, very powerful. You know, very, very useful. Like providing knowledge that you would otherwise have no other way of getting. So yeah. Comparing Hexblood and Dhampir, I think that Dhampir is a bit more powerful. In like combat at least. While Hexblood is definitely... Okay, so Hexblood is more like mystery, social situations, those types of things. You know, telepathic message, you can spy, you know, some kind of like roguish warlock character, I don't know. It depends. Yeah. Neither of these are broken. I don't think this is broken. It's just interesting. Like, there's like stuff that you can do with this that every other character cannot do without spells, right? Or some special magic items or whatever. Yeah, I know it's not more abusable, but that's why I say it's a racial trait. Racial traits are usually not... They're kind of like... I don't expect them to have this level of like situational power. Sure, like there's other races with like powerful traits that can be situationally super powerful, but you know, it's not usually the case. This I don't know. It depends. Maybe I'm overestimating. Maybe it's not good. I don't know. But it seems to me like it's good. It's just my thoughts, first impressions. What can I say, right? Goddamn, we are 40 minutes in and I'm still not done even with the races. All right, so Reborn. So this is definitely some kind of like undeadish character, and all right, let me guess. So it's not. It's actually not undead. They actually removed the undead and probably construct because you cannot heal constructs either. Cure wounds, healing word, mass healing, heal. None of those healing spells work on constructs. So am I right? Yeah, I'm right. So yeah. So this is like a mechanical change because none of the healing spells work on constructs and undead. So they remove those options. Makes sense. But at the same time, so what you can do is like do something. You can even say like what I would do as a designer, I would say, or at least I would consider an option. You can be a construct, but like add somewhere in here. You can be healed. Spells that don't work on constructs work on constructs, if you catch my drift, or undead, right? Because you still have some of that humanity left in you. You're not like a full undead. You're not like a full vampire. You're not like a full fae. Well, yeah, you're a full fae, but you know what I mean, you know. Depends. So, all of that, yeah, that seems to be roughly the same. They removed 2 of these options. I can't honestly be bothered to figure out which one it is. I usually don't even take these. I use these as inspiration and then I come up with something on my own because I just feel like... I don't know, I feel like I don't like using default options. That's what I want to say. I want to do something on my own, you know. So yeah, sure, this can be inspirations, but I personally, I don't remember ever using one of these like default options without at least modifying it. For origins, personality traits, all of those kinds of things, you know. Origins, or actually, yeah, these are the origins, these are the memories. Yeah, but they removed the memories. It's fine. It's whatever. Yeah, so you were dead and now you were reborn. Yeah, so you remember something. You lost some memories. That's what I wanted to say. Alright, so you can still be small. You're still 30 feet. Dark vision? Yep. Actually, no. They removed dark vision. Did they? Oh man, that's a nerf. That's a nerf? I don't... Why did they do that? Huh. I mean... This is the same, alright. So this can be whatever the other two characters can. This... I mean, this is powerful. Not gonna lie, this is powerful. It's not like overpowered, but it's powerful. And then this... Oh yeah, okay, this is actually... They probably removed Dark Vision because they thought these two traits combined are much better than, like, these two traits, for example, combined, and then... I don't know if you can make an argument that those two traits from Reborn are better than these 3 traits, you know? Maybe. Maybe they just kind of, like, thought that thematically it doesn't make sense for Reborns to have Dark Vision. But at the same time, you know, what if you were some kind of like a dwarf or whatever other race in your previous life? I think they should have left Dark Vision in. That's just my opinion. Yeah, thank you. Yeah, if I'm not interacting with some of you in the chat, it's because I'm not live streaming often and I'm not used to reading chat and then reading the stuff that I'm reading on my screen. So you catch my drift, right? I apologize for it, but yeah, I also kind of like missed some of your comments. So yeah, I mean, it's pretty much copy-paste without Dark Vision, more or less. I don't know, I think it wouldn't be overpowered with Dark Vision. But at the same time, Warforged has like a trait that's similar to this one. Without the advantage on death saving throws. I mean, Warforged has a lot of other traits. I don't know. I think they should have left Dark Vision. Yeah, I'm gonna end my thoughts on that about the races. Let's move on to the Dark Gifts. So I've noticed that yeah, there's these like dark bargains that I've skimmed through them, but I didn't really read too deeply. So you can kind of like make a dark bargain, dark deal with some of these Dark Lords or whatever that are present in Ravenloft. There's like a lot of them, and you get some of these like special powers, which let's see what they are. But you get them combined with like with a downside. So there's like a pro and a con. There's pros and cons to every one of these dark gifts. So Echoing Soul has proficiency in 2 skills and 1 language, combined with the downside of you roll a natural 1, and then I'm not gonna read this, but you roll on here, and then one of these effects. This is bad, this is bad, this is bad. Yeah, this is bad kinda, but you can probably deal with it. This is probably, yeah, it's bad, whatever. Like, all of these are bad, and then this one is good. Or maybe, okay, it's not necessarily good, but it's not bad. It could be neutral to good. That's in, I mean, for these two things, you get like 5 to 9.75% chance, if you roll with disadvantage, that you get one of these bad effects. I think it's an okay trade-off. This is consistent, while this is something that's gonna occasionally bother you. And it's also, I mean, look, all of these dark gifts are kind of flavorful, you know? And it gives like that extra dimension to your character that you can roleplay off of. These are not just mechanical things, you know? It adds richness to your character. Gathered Whispers, so... Hold on, I need to drink some water while I'm reading this. Okay, So you hear whispers that only you can hear. That you hear voices in your head, right? Obviously. So message cantrip, no components, so nobody knows that you're casting it, and you're the only one who can hear these spirits. And then, oh, okay, so the message is delivered. Okay, so basically it's kind of like telepathy, you know, but without, well, it is telepathy. I mean, it basically is telepathy. It's just a convoluted way of getting it. Kind of. It's an indirect telepathy. It's flavorful telepathy. I don't know. I don't know why I'm trying to very accurately describe this. But it is what it that's basically what it is. So yeah, I mean, look, going back to the race again, I think they should have left it. But at the same time, I've played characters without dark vision, and you can get around it. It's just that this particular race, I don't think it offers enough. I don't think these two traits are powerful enough for it to be removed from the like balance perspective. It's just, and then you have like the flavor, which is, you know, you're basically a humanoid undead. How do you not have at least like some dark vision, right? That's my reasoning. Maybe I'm wrong with it, but I don't know, that's my thoughts. When you're hit, I'm back to the Gathered Whispers. Okay, so you can increase your AC by your proficiency bonus once per long rest. This is not that good. Once per long rest, you add like +2, +3. If it's a short rest, I can kind of get it. They probably thought this was good. I mean, this is good. This can be awesome in campaigns that don't have a lot of combat, but they do have a lot of mystery, you know, politics, intrigue, all of that stuff. So they probably knew that people are not gonna be taking this for combat. They knew that people are gonna be taking this because they want to be this sneaky character that interacts with people and talks to them without anybody else knowing that they talk to other characters, you know. For whatever reason, whatever motivation that you want to play a character like that. By the way, we are at 14 likes. Can we please get at least at 20? That would warm my heart. Thank you very much. So you're deafened. Okay, so these three are bad. Not super bad. And then this one could be good. You know? Could be good. Could be good, could be not. It depends. So like these... Okay, so what I'm gathering, like the pattern that I'm gathering is that the last effect on the table is usually like neutral to good, while all the other ones before it are bad. Okay, it's a interesting design choice, design approach. So Living Shadow, what I'm gathering is like a shadow it's got a mind of its own. Yeah, moves out of sync with you. Random, yeah. Yeah, okay, makes sense. So, some flavor. Let's see, Mage Hand cantrip, so similar, no components. Shadowy. It is not bound to your actual shadow. Interesting. You can choose your spellcasting ability. This is kind of nice. I mean, it's not overpowered, but Mage Hand it's like a utility cantrip that's got a lot of different, very creative uses. And I can definitely get behind I can get behind this. This is probably... So, comparing like Gathered Whispers, which this is mostly useful in campaigns where politicking, intriguing, being a bit mysterious, you know, hidden with your communication channels matters, but like in campaigns where you just kind of like go through trials and tribulations and mostly just fighting through them without too much diplomacy, yeah, this kind of like whatever. But this is applicable in almost any kind of campaign. Even in like full-on, limited, almost no combat, just, you know, terrain hazards, social interactions, all of that, it's gonna be useful. Maybe a bit less, but still, you know. Delivers, you can use this. Okay, so proficiency bonus is a limit up and once you're out of those proficiency bonus uses, you need a long rest. So this is mostly a meme buff, right? I can already see some bugbear with their like 10 feet reach, wielding a pole with like 15 feet reach. Now it's 25. Now you're a battle master fighter with that maneuver. I forgot the name of the maneuver, but lunging, right? Lunging something. So now it's what, 30, 35? Yeah. I can already see that happening. Maybe I even make a character with this. Maybe. We'll see. We'll see. We'll see if it happens. Thank you for 20 likes, by the way. Thank you very much. So, what is this? Natural 1. Okay, same trigger. Oh, okay. A D4. Odd number bad, even number good. Honestly, it's a 50-50, right? So you have a 50% chance of it being good, and then a 50% chance of it being bad, but neither the good or the bad effect are particularly like super good or super bad. Compared to these like other ones which are random and you only have like what, 25% chance here to get something neutral or good, and then you have like 1 in 6% chance to get something neutral or good here. Honestly, I think this is the least bad one of the 3 that I looked at so far. Let's see the other ones. So Mistwalker. Yeah. It would be funny though. You're just kind of like stretching like Mr. Fantastic. Navigate the mists. Okay, so I could have already thought. Yeah, Misty Step, obviously. Do you need components? You do. So people can still, okay, it's still counterspellable. If it didn't require components, if it didn't require you to yell, you know, vocal component, it wouldn't be, nobody would be able to even counterspell you. But yeah, it's still counterspellable. Okay, yeah, it's a 2nd level spell. You can cast it. You basically get 1 extra use of Misty Step. Since Misty Step is one of the best like mobility positioning spells in the game, I think this is already good. Let's see what this other one is. Oh damn, I already see that exhaustion here. Oh damn. So yeah, with great power comes great downside. You are treated as if you possess a Mist Talisman. What is a Mist Talisman? Oh, that's something with lore, right? Yeah. Probably got something. Yeah, it's not usable outside of Ravenloft. Yeah, because a Mist Talisman, that's very domain specific. Yeah. So it's just Ravenloft. Interesting. I mean, you probably gotta have one of those, right? Let's see this. Oh, wow. When you finish a long rest, that's... Whoa. Oh, wow. Okay, actually, I wouldn't like this. I wouldn't like to have this at all, to be honest. That's... Yeah, that's almost terrible, Jesus. By the way, is the music too quiet? Like the background music, the spooky music? Let me know. I'm gonna just, you know, nudge it up a bit slightly right now. If it's too loud right now, let me know. I'm gonna put it back. Dhampir? Dhampir. Okay. Yeah. This is definitely not usable outside of Ravenloft, and yeah, you cannot hear the music. Yeah, well, rip. It seems like I'm the only one who can hear the music. Yeah, second skin. Okay, so is this literal? Yeah, I was playing music, but I wanted to make it so that it's audible for you guys. It's clearly not, so I failed. Oh, you can hear it now? Yeah, it was probably too quiet. I apologize for that. I wanted to like set a little bit of like a spooky mood. Yeah. So, second form. So, okay. So you actually don't get a second skin, literally. Oh, okay. Change appearance. So you can... And you must... Okay. So you can cast it with spell slots if you have them. But, Hold on. Okay, this is slightly confusing. So if you cast it with a spell slot, are you still limited to just the change appearance option? I would think it is. But casting Alter Self in this way requires no spell slot. But I don't know. I think the intent of this is that it's limited to just the change appearance. You cannot really like give yourself aquatic adaptation and natural weapons, right? The +1 bone, this thing. It's just this. But I think the wording is slightly confusing. I think the wording should have been worded. You can cast this spell in this way with them. I think that would have been like solidified. That would make things much more clear. You know, because you catch my drift. Like it just states, if you have a spell slots of second level or higher, you can cast this spell with them. But it doesn't state that you're limited. You know. It even says here, like, casting Alter Self requires no spell slot, and you must finish blah 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 this way again. You can cast it only this way. I don't know, maybe I'm nitpicking, but hey, wording. Yeah, it's weird music. Yeah, it's spooky, right? Do you want me to turn it off? Is it spooking you out? Is it making things too weird? Update for a Deadly Assassin. Honestly, like, I need to update everything. Because Tasha threw a big wrench in all of my builds. I've been postponing it because it's like, how do I update everything? I don't want to just release like a new video for every character individually. But I will update everything, trust me. It's gonna be done by the end of the summer, most likely. All of the characters that need to be updating, And I think all of them do need to be updated, so yeah. More details on that. You will know, you will know. So yeah, alter self. Oh, okay. So interesting. So like they basically, this trait modifies the spell in a way that it's like, yeah, you still cast it, but it's magic that you're doing magic, but it's in this very specific way, right? So it's kind of interesting the way that they're repurposing these spells, but then they're basically modifying them a lot. Yeah, Tasha did flip a meta on its head quite a bit. I mean, most of my characters still work just fine, and I said previously in this stream that I don't think the change to Booming Blade and Green Flame Blade are meant to be limiting factors for Shadow Blade, or as we've discussed previously, for example, Dhampir. You can still, in my opinion, the change was intended to be made so that it fits the general rules of 5th edition, which state that if the material component of the spell doesn't have a cost or is not consumed, you can swap it for a spellcasting focus or a component pouch. Well, a spellcasting material component for Booming Blade and Green Flame Blade required a weapon. Since that weapon didn't have a cost associated with it and was not consumed, by rules as written, you could have cast Booming Blade with your component pouch. Right, so that was the reason of the change. Hold on, since this is the second time that I mention it now, and there's like 35 of you in here, let me actually provide you with some links, so that you don't think I'm just talking out of my head, out of my ass. Alright, so I think I have a bunch of Jeremy Crawford's tweets. I need to find them, hold on. Yeah, alright. I think it's these two. Pretty sure it's these two. I'm gonna link them in the chat. Hopefully it's this one, and then it's on. Yeah, so there's like a bunch of, yeah, so, and for some weird reason, and I know Jeremy Crawford stated himself that his tweets are not rules, but I mean, he is the rules designer, so at least if we are gonna take some opinion with some level of weight, I think we should give more weight to his opinions or interpretations of rules. But yeah, also he stated something about Warcaster as well, so yeah, okay, so now that we are talking about something completely unrelated to the topic of this live stream, if you go through those tweets and read every reply and every question and everything and all the arguments that other people provided. For example, there was an example of rope trick, right? If you go and this live stream is getting derailed hard. But yeah, anyway, if you go through rope trick, it's got a material component of powdered twisted loop of parchment and powdered corn extract. So technically you don't need this because there's no cost, and then it's not consumed. Like, these are not consumed and they don't have a cost associated with them. But the spell description states that you touch a length of the rope. So the spell effect basically forces you to touch a length of rope that, whatever. You catch my point. Going back to Booming Blade, which is basically got the same description as Green Flame. It's the same thing, just a slightly different effect. I think it's still Well, it's slightly different wording. But I think the original, like the old wording of the spell stated that you make a melee weapon attack with the weapon that is something like that, right? And even here it states you brandish a weapon. So you like the effect of the spell forces you to have a weapon in your hand, one way or another, right? The effect of the spell requires you to make an attack, right? So yeah, sure, technically you could have, in the previous version of Booming Blade and Green Flame Blade, which didn't have a material component with the cost associated with it, you could have casted Booming Blade with a spell casting focus or a component pouch. But okay, doesn't that sound stupid? Why would you do that? Sure, by rules as written, you could have. I don't think I've ever read anywhere that somebody was casting Booming Blade with a component pouch. If you know of such occurrence, let me know, because that's weird. Yeah. Yeah, so Van Richten is giving us kind of like Tasha's. It's not, I mean, Tasha pretty much kind of like, I think they decided to go with this new direction of designing races, you know. Every race can have whatever ability score modifiers it wants, or that you want to give it. Yeah, it's derailed. Yeah, I know, it's over. But they decided to go with that design approach. Now, I'm not gonna go into politics and all of that. That's not the scope of this channel and this stream. For pure power gaming, and I'm not even gonna go into lore, right? It is slightly weird to have a Goliath that has +2 to charisma and then +1 to intelligence. I mean, Goliath without strength bonus is weird. It's just weird. But fundamentally, not every... You could have like a weak Goliath, you know, a Goliath that was born without the strength of its... You know, without the Goliath strength. I mean, why would that not be a thing? That would be a very weird thing, that would be a rare thing. But it's a thing, you know, so... You know, that they decided to make the races like that. And I think that all of the future races, including these ones that we got here, and all the other ones that we are going to be getting, are going to be designed in that way. So, yeah, I mean, I think that's just a new reality. And I don't necessarily even think that's bad. It's just... It does complicate things. It does make... It kind of makes things a bit cheesy in a way that everybody is gonna be trying to be special, and I don't know, maybe I'm just talking out of my ass here. It almost seems like being like a generic version of something is bad, and I don't know why that is. Most dwarves are constitution-y, you know, because dwarves have constitution, right? Most Goliaths have strength because they live in the mountains and they're physical creatures, right? But yeah, I mean, I don't see the reason why there wouldn't be outliers and like exceptions to the rule and stuff like that. So yeah, anyway, I'm going all off the charts, off the rails. Oh, and my microphone is flying down the floor. But yeah, that's my thoughts. Yeah, I mean, it is weird because when we think about... That's why I say Goliath. When you say Goliath, you immediately think strength, right? Now, you can say that's a stereotype, whatever. That's like just, you know, putting certain creatures in a box and not letting them leave that box. But, I mean, it's... How do you not do that? There's like certain stereotypes that everybody understands. So, yeah, I don't know. There's good and bad with every change. And just from the pure optimization perspective, I think it's good because it gives you more options. Like you can make better characters right now without resorting to, like, you don't have to always play a half-elf charisma character. You can be something else. You don't have to always be this like half-orc Goliath, I don't know, barbarian. You don't have to be. You can be, I don't know, like a fire genasi barbarian. Why not? I mean, why not? So it makes things interesting, you know, gives more flavor, gives more variety. Because once you play a barbarian, once you play one barbarian, you've played every barbarian ever. So these changes in Tasha at least makes things more interesting. I don't know why I'm talking about Tasha right now when I should be talking about this. But yeah. So we've reviewed this, certain circumstances, blah blah, through experience, it started. Okay, so you only get this basically, which is good. You can, I mean, this is kind of like Mask of Many Faces. More or less. A similar kind of effect. Mask of Many Faces is the Warlock invocation which allows you to cast Disguise Self at will. But you get a downside of... Hold on. Do you even get a downside? Hold on. This is different. After you experience this catalyst, start of your next turn. I'm reading chat and reading this, and I'm not like my mind is split in two directions. But I'm seeing, like, in my peripheral vision that everybody is like talking something in the chat. Hold on, let me just try to read this. Let me just focus on this. At the start of the next turn, you must succeed Charisma saving throw or use your action to cast. Even if you have already used it, you roll. Oh. So, I guess you start with one of these 6 catalysts. Okay. Oh, you can choose. Got it. Oh, okay, I see. So you roll or choose. So it's always just one? You know what would be even funnier? If you could just always change. That'd be stupid. That wouldn't even make sense. But it would be funny, like every time this involuntary change happens, your catalyst changes. But obviously, there's a theme with this. So this is like kind of like a werewolf theme. I don't know what the flower is, like hippie theme. What is the bell? The first thing that pops to my mind with the bell is the Venom. You know, Venom from Spider-Man. He's got the sounds irritated. Melody. I don't know what that is. Touching pure silver. I mean silver. Yeah, silver, obviously. Specific. Seeing someone resembling a specific individual. So you have like a trauma of seeing a face. Interesting. What is that? Dhampir, Dragon Monk. I'm reading chat. So yeah. Game Cavalier, Mountain Dwarf casters. I totally agree with you. So recently I made the Mountain Dwarf Clockwork Sorcerer. Sadly, I went to bed way too late and missed the session. But yeah, like definitely there's gonna be a lot of I don't know why the thing is getting. So Streamlabs is banning some of your messages. I don't know. Oh, Links. Yeah. Yeah, links can be... But what? It's not a link. How do I don't know how to... Yeah, I don't... Yeah. Yeah, that's interesting. I mean, a flower, come on. It's a hippie theme. What's bad about stereotypes? There's nothing bad about stereotypes. Stereotypes exist because there's certain patterns in life that occur regularly. Anyway, yeah, I'm spending way too much time on this. Symbiotic Being. This stream is taking way too long for like this little content. I apologize, but I said at the very beginning this is gonna take a while. So press like. We are at 23 likes. I think I deserved at least 25. What do you think? 25? Is that? Yeah, I think that's appropriate number of likes. Physically symbiotic being, so yeah, this is more like Venom. I don't know why I'm taking these like pop culture references, but whatever. Symbiote, come on, right? If you ignore its desire, it's gonna freaking eat you from inside. Does it have that? Hold on. Does it actually have that, like, bad? No, actually it doesn't. So yeah, they didn't go with the Venom flavor, but I would be totally down. Like, you don't want to feed me? You can definitely play Venom with this type of thing. Oh, Zen RPG. Okay, symbiotic being is one of the most interesting things in this, and that's saying something. Why? You think everything else is boring? I mean, okay, that's your opinion, but honestly, I don't think so. I just think like a lot of these. So, for example, going back to Echoing Soul, the downside is kind of too bad when it happens. Just to get this, you know, a couple skills and a language. Gathered Whispers, also kind of like, you know, the downsides can be worse than the good things that you get. But like these things, they're fun, they're interesting to me, honestly. Mistwalker, that's sure maybe not as interesting as Symbiotic Being, but it's useful, definitely. Oh, he hates the book. Why so? Oh, I mean, look. So this book, I don't think they... I'm not gonna go into the rest of the book, but... I'm only reviewing the character creation. If you're talking about character creation specifically... sure, maybe there's like not enough character creation options, but... that's because this book was primarily... why did I go back so much? Hold up. So yeah, this book is primarily about like domains. Now, I don't know if they provided a lot of info, but seems to me there's a lot of info. You know, look how much I have to scroll just for one of these. So yeah, that's the value of the book. Now, if you're not into that type of thing, that's fine. But yeah, the primary content of this book is not character options. It's other things. But yeah, back to character options. Where was I? Symbiotic Being. Damn, we got a Ravenloft hater. All right, no, I'm not trying to single you out. I'm not trying to talk you down or anything. But yeah, look, it's just a book about lore of the Ravenloft. Now, maybe on some other occasion we can talk about whether they did a good job on it, but hey, that's neither here or there. Here or there. That's a lot of words. It isn't separate. Okay. So yeah, basically. Game proficiency, okay. So the symbiote gives you a skill proficiency. So basically, this gives you 2 skills. This gives you 1. Am I reading this right? What's this? Okay. Oh, okay, okay. So hit dice. Hit dice. Okay, that's a mechanic that's getting more and more used. This is one of those things. I think that's an actually underused mechanic. I don't think there should be more effects in the game that go off of hit dice other than just like short rests and, well, short rests, right? There's one more thing, I forgot what it was. The feat, right? What's the name of the feat? The dwarven something, right? I don't know. The one that allows you to spend your hit dice. Yeah, there's a feat. I think there's like one of the new spells does something with hit dice. Not sure, maybe I'm wrong. And then there's this. There needs to be more things that go off the hit dice, you know, because usually it's just a short rest mechanic. Interesting things, right? It's like it's a resource. Why would you not have something interesting to do with your resource, right? Because if you think about it, like you roll 14 on a dex save and you're thinking, maybe, you know, it's a high roll, but you know what, let me just roll my d8 to beef up that 14, make it like 16, 17, 18, just to guarantee that I don't take like full fireball damage and I just take half. So basically you heal yourself more potentially than you would heal yourself just by expending the hit dice as a short rest, right? With this thing. Oh wow. This is, oh boy, this is super. All right, this is, wow. If it uses this feature on a death saving throw, you succeed on the save and regain 1 hit point regardless of the number rolled on a d20. Sure, you can only use it once per long rest, but goddamn, that's powerful. Yeah, that's powerful. So the symbiote has an agenda. You roll, something bad happens. You can get charmed. Yeah, so you kind of like have a thing that constantly nags you. That's very vague. That's also very vague. Oh my god. Imagine you're playing in a party with a paladin and then you decide to roll and then you get this. That would be, yeah, that'd be rough. That'd be rough. Touch of death. All right, let's see. Harming whoever you come in contact with. Death power. Ah, yeah. I mean, this is like, what's that X-Men? Rogue, right? Is Rogue the one with the death touch? Am I failing my pop references? Yeah. Seems like that's it. So it manifests somehow. Death touch. Oh. But it is an action. That's... Honestly, it's flavorful, it's thematic. But, ultimately... well, look, there's... What's the downside? There's no downside, right? Well, the downside was one of these, right? Yeah, there's no downside. So these two are kind of like whatever, because you can always deal more damage with whatever else you're doing with your action. It's basically a cantrip. It's a 1d10 cantrip, which, okay, sure, it's not a spell, so it's an unarmed strike. If only you could use it like on your reaction or attack opportunity. Yeah, I don't know. Like, this is good if you want to do a grappler. So yeah, this looks like whatever. This looks like a waste. This looks like a something that you get and then you never use it because you always have better things to do. I mean, look, mechanically, why would you do what is effectively a melee cantrip? Sure, it's damage. It's got a decent damage, not gonna lie. But, I don't know. Okay, maybe... Okay, you're in anti-magic field, and you cannot cast any spells, and you have this. So you go ahead and you demuck. You do a death touch on some... I don't know. But even then, like, isn't this magical? All of these effects are basically magical, right? So it would... I find it hard to find a situation where this would be useful. Yeah, it's like a trap option, honestly. Like, find me a reason to go for this ever. Other than just getting it because the DM decided to give it to you. This, yeah, it's whatever. This doesn't... Yeah. Next. It's cool. Not gonna lie, it would be cool to have something like this. But then the mechanical implementation of this is very underwhelming. Yeah, melee range, basically a cantrip. It's not a spell, so technically it cannot get counterspelled, but come on, no DM is gonna counterspell your cantrip. That's not gonna happen. So yeah, it's whatever. It does. Next. Shadow stuff. I like how they say shadow stuff. You know, shadow stuff, things, stuff. Okay, so something. Yeah, you get shadow stuffs, right? So you have to choose your stuffs. Borrowed eyes. So once per day for an hour you have advantage on these things. It's good. Like, investigation and perception are... Perception is, as we all know, the most important skill in the game, and then investigation, I mean, if you build a character for it, you know, you're rummaging through some stuff, you try to loot dead bodies. Investigation gets used a lot as well, so it's useful. It's useful, definitely. It also seems like there's no downside. Well, I'm an idiot. You have disadvantage. Against creatures that can see the Watchers. Yeah, so this is definitely like very creepy. And it's some effort. So actually, I'm actually thinking that this is more useful than Touch of Death. Because if you think about it, if you make a character that's just simply not a charisma character, you don't really even care about this. And you have this. It's just that this is not super powerful. So all in all, these dark gifts seems like there's only like a couple good ones. Seems like overly bad. This also seems a bit too punitive. Living Shadow is interesting. The downside is not that bad. Mistwalker, very, very good in my opinion. It is bad, but you know, it's also it depends, you know. It's if you're playing in Ravenloft, a lot of people play Curse of Strahd. Could be good, not gonna lie. But again, this is also, the downside is significant. But then Misty Step, you know, whatever. Second Skin is interesting. The downside, not that bad, to be honest. Could be bad situationally, but it's probably, you can deal with it. Symbiotic Being is probably the most, as somebody said, interesting. I forgot your name in the chat, sorry. Zen RPG. Touch of Death is completely useless in my opinion mechanically, for like 99% of the characters. And then Watchers could be useful, but then kind of like low impact power. You get a little bit of extra, but it's not, it doesn't feel like you got anything significant. So yeah, that's it about the dark bargains. Honestly, like these feel more like flavor than actual mechanical. Sure, there's mechanics to them, but there's like more words that describe the flavor than the mechanics in most cases. And I think that's what they're going for anyway. So yeah, that's it about that. Let me just quickly check these these two subclasses. I already talked about them in a video like a couple months ago. There should be an unearthed here. Yeah, there we go. So I actually prepared for this, believe it or not. So yeah, let me see. Art College of Spirit. There we go. What changed? Guidance 60 feet. Guidance 60 feet. Good. All right. So this I like. Spiritual focus seems like a copy paste, more or less. There's a change in wording in the first sentence. That deals damage. Okay. So healing and damage is interesting, but I think I even stated in that video, and I think that now, it's not gonna make or break any character. Like, sure, a D6, your healing word is gonna be 1d4 plus 1d6 plus 3 instead of just 1d4 plus 3, but at the end of the day, it's not gonna out-heal damage. And then your Vicious Mockery is gonna be what, like d4 plus d6 instead of just d4. Sure, more damage, but hey, it's not gonna break anything. So it's gonna be tangible, it's gonna accumulate, it's gonna mean something, but in most cases it's not gonna be... This is not a front-loaded feature. It's just something that you get. It's a little bit of an extra. You will notice it, but it's not gonna, you know, result in this big power or whatever. This is pretty much much better than spiritual focus. Like casting guidance, which has a range of touch at 60 feet, that opens up some possibilities. The first one that falls like on my mind, you can cast it on a sorcerer or wizard that have counterspell, so that they have better chance of succeeding on the ability check when they want a counterspell when you're fighting some spellcaster. Yeah. Yeah, but it's an action. So the problem with... I'm going back to... So the problem with Touch of Death is that it's a full action, right? So there's no there's no extra attack, there's no... I don't know, well, technically, yeah, I guess you can flurry of blows, but it's just, it takes up your full action, which basically means it's a glorified melee cantrip that deals decent damage. And yeah, sure, it's not really a cantrip, but it's got cantrip mechanics. And that's basically what it is. So I think for like 99% of the characters, that's not gonna work. I don't know, I'm going back and forth, but you catch the drift. So Tales from Beyond, this is the feature that I didn't really like. I generally don't like these features that are just completely unreliable, right? So you have your Bardic Inspiration, which is a resource that is very important to you. Sure, at level what, like 5 or 6, it becomes a short rest feature, so fairly early into your character progression, you can have it in fairly large quantities. But it's an expendable resource, and if you don't manage it carefully, you run out of it, and then you're just casting spells like any other caster out there. You spend your Bardic Inspiration, and this feature seems to be basically the same. Yeah, there's been some change. Okay, so all of them. Got it. Alright, so Tale of the Clever Animal is now Beast. You see, Renowned Duelist is Warrior. Friends. Change in wording. Whatever. Maybe some change in mechanic, but I'm not gonna go too deep into that. A lot of these mechanics are good, but the problem is a lot of them are also situational. So you spend your Bardic Inspiration, and let's say you get 9. What if you're fighting just one creature? The damage is nice, but the creature is immune to prone. I mean, maybe you don't know that, but you catch my point, right? So sure, it's a bonus action. I got it. Like, I just randomly picked an effect that's actually good. All right. Let me. That's actually good in most cases, but it's 1 in 12. What if nobody needs healing? You know, what if nobody is none of these effects, none of these like conditions? What if you get, let's say, what is this? You make a melee spell attack against the target. What if there is nobody in your melee vicinity? You catch my point? Like, maybe you're not even able to get in melee. So it's just too random. It's not consistent, it's unreliable, and I'm not gonna say this character would be useless. It wouldn't be. But why would you play this bard when you can play some other bard which has a subclass feature that has a more consistent use of its Bardic Inspiration general class feature? That's just my own opinion. Some people like the randomness, they like the chaos. I'm kind of chaotic in real life. I do have that chaotic bend, but at the same time, when I play my games, I like to have something that I can at least somewhat rely on. So, yeah, it's just my own opinion. I didn't like the subclass. I didn't like this feature when it was released as Unearthed Arcana, and I still kind of don't like it now. So I'm not gonna talk too much more about it. It's almost 2 hours that I've started this live stream. All right, let's try to finish this quickly. So spirits provide you with supernatural insight. Same name, slightly different words. Seems like they changed the first sentence, right? And everything else is the same. That's kind of weird. Why would you do? See, like, you reach out to spirits. I don't know why I'm even spending time on this. And then everything else is the same. They just changed the first sentence. Weird. Peculiar. Perplexing. Mystifying. What else? What other word can I figure out? I don't know. English is not my primary language. I think I'm pretty much all out of words. Wolf 536. I agree. Guiding Whispers is amazing. It is situational, but it is amazing. Like, if there's no cleric, if there's no druid in a party, you have guidance, which is one of the best support utility cantrips in the game, period. You get it as a bard, right? This is decent. Nothing to brag about. But like bards, the best level 3 bard feature, the best subclass feature that bards get at level 3 is usually the one that uses the bardic inspiration feature that they get at level 1, right? And this one is just kind of like, you know, could be awesome, could be melee spell attack, which I cannot really even do because I'm not in melee, because I'm a bard, I'm not really even supposed to be in melee, you catch my point, right? So that's why I don't like it. And I kind of like read somewhere on some forum, I don't know if it was Reddit or Giant in the Playground, I don't even remember. It was some of those D&D forums, you know. Somebody was actually playing this subclass when it was released, and they actually specifically complained about the unreliability of the Tales from Beyond. They played the class, they used this feature, and then every time they used it, it was like, oh crap, like, this is useless. So yeah, that's like, it's just it. The main feature of your class is basically completely, not completely, but is largely unreliable. Let's call it like that. So, one thing that I will say, this subclass is very, very flavorful. Like, you're basically this, what's the name? What's the name? God damn it. The word, I actually have to Google translate this. My brain completely froze. You know what I mean? You know, like the women that read your future. What's the name? Somebody help me in chat. I can't even. Oh, God damn it. Fortune teller. Thank you, mom. Thank you, Munchkin mom. Yeah. Jesus Christ. Yeah, fortune teller. This is basically a fortune teller, but it's like you get randomness. So yeah, medium. Yeah, medium fortune teller. Yeah. Yeah, I need to finish this quickly. My mother needs to go to bed. And I'm screaming. Yeah, so, where were we? Spell you choose my... yeah, it seems to be like a copy-paste, right? It temporarily, yeah. So this is good. So divination or necromancy, yeah, it's a good thing. Once per long rest. So there's things that you can do with this. This is basically kind of like how would I say? It's basically like a pseudo lore bard feature. It's like less powerful than lore bard, but it's there. You know, it's kind of there. And then it can progressively get better because as you keep leveling up, and if you have a big party, let's say you're playing in a party of 6 or even 7 players, yeah, press like for the Munchkin Mother. Without her, I wouldn't be able to figure out the words because my brain was completely shut down. So yeah, anyway, so that's that basically. Yeah, cool. It's basically scales because once you get higher levels, you know, once you get to level 9, you know, you can cast level 5 spells. Once you're level 5, sure, it's a level 3 spell. But divination, necromancy, there's a lot of spells. I'm not gonna go into which one to take. But yeah, sorry, my nose is completely congested. That probably sounded way horrible. But I'm kind of like suffering from some weird nose thing. So press like for the nose. Let's get this to 35 likes, please. Thank you very much. I'm over here like struggling to bring you this. I'm not gonna go that route. No. I'm fine. I'm fine. Don't worry. These live streams are as fun for me as hopefully are fun for you because I don't know. There's like 20-30 of you. There's been all the time today, so I guess some of you this is entertaining. So yeah. Did they change the... Okay, so... Again. The first sentence is... changed. Again. Why? I mean... There's something weird about this. Well, yeah, sure, maybe they changed... Hold on. Oh, okay. Wait, this is nerfed. This is nerfed because the mystical connection was like... At level 14, you don't even have to waste your bardic inspiration. Like, you just keep your bardic inspiration and roll the d6. Right? And then you just use the first 6 effects. Which hero is good, I think? Avenger... Whatever, I'm not gonna go into them. You can watch the video that I made about this on Unearthed Arcana. But, yeah, so this was basically, like, good because you can preserve the resource that you need and you can give the bardic inspiration to people that actually need it, right? But here it actually allows you to basically re-roll it. It still expends it. But at the same time, you get more control. I don't know. See, here's what I would do. I would actually say that, like, you can go this route. Spend the hit dice, spend the spell slot, or spend some, like, take damage. I don't care. Instead of wasting your bardic inspiration die, you can spend some other resource that you have access to as a bard, and then you get to choose which effect you get. Let's say, like, if you spend I don't know, it's kind of complicated, but it's still random. Like, you have a bit more control of the randomness, but at the same time it's still super random. Like, you roll 2 d12s and you get a 3 and a 11, and then you don't need either of them, you know, because nobody needs hit points, and then whatever this thing is, nobody needs that either. Oh wow, I just randomly chose like 2 effects that heal. I didn't even Yeah, but let's say like nobody needs healing. Like first round of combat, nobody got injured, and then like 3 and 11. That's what, there's like 50% chance for you to roll a healing. Not 50. 1 in 6 that you roll. Yeah, see, like random. I don't like randomness. Randomness should be for, well, okay. I should reiterate. I don't like random effects like this that deplete your finite resources. All the other bards have things that they can rely on. They know how they work, all of that stuff. But this, I don't like the. I just, if I ever played this, I would play it for the flavor, which is, as my mother already said, fortune teller. You can play that to the freaking moon and beyond. I don't care. But mechanically, this is definitely, this is a very underwhelming bard subclass, in my own opinion. It would definitely probably be fun, but you wouldn't be able to. You would basically be like a wild card, which sometimes you do super good stuff, and then sometimes you're just kind of like, you know, playing your instrument on the side and casting vicious mockery, you know, mocking everybody even though you're like the one that should be mocked. So yeah, it's in my own it's not the worst subclass, but it's definitely not. I don't know, it's just not. I don't like it. Let's end it at that. Now let's talk about the subclass that I do like, the Undead Warlock, as we can all see. The spells it gets remain the same, I think. Yeah, for some reason they switched probably like alphabetically, because P is before S, right? So yeah, everything is the same. Decent spells that you get added to your list. I would probably take at least some of them. Most likely not all of them. But yeah, basically, it's this form of dread, which is really, really good. And I think did they leave it as is? Hold on, let me see. So this looks like a copy paste. Yep. So once per turn. Alright, so this remained the same. Level 1 is very, very good. Temporary hit points, whatever. At level 1 it could be amazing. At level 15, 1D... I mean, look, temporary hit points are always good because they stack on top of your ordinary hit points. But it's like the more levels that you get, the less they are important. What is important is these other two things, especially at low levels. But then you get to level 6, and in addition, when you hit a creature with an attack roll and roll damage against that creature, you can replace the damage with a necrotic damage. While you're using Form of Dread, you can roll 1 additional damage die when determining the necrotic damage a target takes. What are we all thinking? Eldritch Blast, right? Warlock. Eldritch... So, instead of rolling 1d10 plus your charisma, plus whatever hex and stuff, you're now rolling 2d10 plus charisma plus hex, whatever. All the other stuff that increase your damage. So, what this is basically like, it improves your damage by default. It makes your Eldritch Blast more powerful than almost every other single class warlock out there, and then if you combine it with sorcerer like Sorlock, sure, like your sorcerer is limited to level 14, so that's like 7th level spells, so you cannot have those like time stops and stuff like that, and activating a Form of Dread is a bonus action, so you need a lot of turns to stack the hex with the Form of Dread and all of that stuff. But Honestly, at level 6, Form of Dread is just better than Hex, so you will probably always activate it with your bonus action first. You get all these other stuff that works from level 1. By the way, the image is really kind of nice, you know? I would love if there was more like Undeath, because it looks kind of... I mean, it looks like a Warlock's supposed to look. I just need more skeletons around, you know? This is probably like... Okay, this is probably the flavorful familiar, right? They... Yeah. So, let's see. Grave touched. Once a turn now. Oh. Once. Ah, it's nerfed. I didn't see that. Or I did, but I just ignored it. Yeah, it's nerfed. Alright, well, I mean, it makes sense. But at the same time, it still opens up possibilities, you know, for this to work. It's just a bit less damage. So ignore everything that I just said. I completely didn't... I missed this part. Because I just thought it was a copy-paste. And I was super interested in this class. And, yeah, I guess my hype just got the better of me. But yeah, basically, like, it's been nerfed. But, it's still... honestly, it's good. Because it's still good. Frightened. It's free. For 1 minute, temporary hit points, and a little bit of extra damage. So you're controlling the enemy, you're harder to be controlled, you're harder to be frightened. The enemy gets frightened, sure, maybe it's immune to frightened, but hey, like it's not like you spend any extra to activate this other than your bonus action. And then you get a little bit of an extra damage. So sure, while it doesn't completely make your Eldritch Blast ridiculous, it's still, I think it's still good. Yeah, but Wolf, once during each of your turns. It works with Hex. It works with Spirit Shroud. It works with those spells. Why would it not work? It's just you have the first problem of bonus action bottlenecking. Spirit Shroud, Hex, and Form of Dread all require a bonus action to activate. So you need 2 turns to stack them together. And then on top of that, the Form of Dread no longer works on all the Eldritch Blast attacks. It's only once a turn. So it's not a big damage improvement, it's just a little bit damage improvement. But hey, I still think it's fine. I don't necessarily think leaving this thing as is would be bad, because this is still a level 6 feature. And as we all know, Hexblades, they get their bonus action Hexblade's Curse, which improves your damage by your proficiency modifier, right? Which stacks with Eldritch Blast. So 8 blasts, 8 times your proficiency modifier. That damage pretty much stacks up pretty high. So I don't think it would be overpowered or anything to leave the Undead Warlock to be, you know, to Form of Dread to stack with your Eldritch Blast for as many blasts as you have. But I don't necessarily even think that this nerf is bad. It's just that it makes this Warlock a little bit more in line with all the other Warlocks, other than the Hexblade, which is... Let's just say the Hexblade Warlock is like a damage specialist, and all these other Warlocks have other specializations. And all of them can be damage specialists when you multiclass into a sorcerer anyway. So, yeah, that's just basically it. Necrotic Husk is a renamed Mortal Husk, I think. Yeah. Oh, okay. Yeah, same. 30 feet. Choice. Okay, so this has been buffed. Because previously, each creature, friendly or foe, would take the damage. And now it's each creature of your choice. You get a level of exhaustion, but I mean, it's only disadvantage on ability checks, so it's not that bad. But the good thing is that you don't damage your party, so you can be in the front lines. Decent damage, nothing super big, but could be a decent AoE if you're dealing with a lot of enemies. And you're at 1 hit point, so you have extra things to do, right? And of course, if you stack it with Death Ward, because you get it on your list, that can be a thing that you do, right? And not super powerful, but decent power for a level 10 feature, I think. Spirit Projection, there's a lot of words, and it seemingly is the same. It's kind of like an astral projection, kind of like that. Yeah. 1 hour. There's a change in wording. I don't think there's any change in effect. Yeah, it's just like word reshuffling. So you are basically a barbarian at this point. It just took you a while to get there. Oh, now it's just necromancy, no longer conjuration. I see. Well, I don't know. Like, what conjuration spells? I don't even know. Oh, I'm an idiot. Sorry, ignore me. Yeah, I was. Sorry, guys. It's like 1:30 a.m. I'm a bit tired. Yeah, okay. You have flying speed. So it's the same. It's basically the same. Maybe some like word shuffling. What's there? Wow, okay. Yep, it's the same. Once per long rest. Decent, level 14 power. And with that, we are done with the subclasses. Backgrounds, I mean, these ones already existed in Strahd anyway, I think. But then we have these horror trinkets, which... yeah, they're just trinkets. There's nothing super interesting about them. This stream has been like 2 hours long. Thank you all for... if there's somebody who's stuck from start to finish, congratulations, you have more patience than I would ever have listening to some random person on the internet talk about nerd stuff for 2 hours and more. So thank you for that. We got 40 likes. Whoever didn't like so far, please drop a like. Thank you very much. Thank you for watching. I am gonna stop it here because it's been way too long and it's late and my household needs to go to bed. And I'm also kind of feeling a bit tired. It's been long 2 days. I bricked my computer. Those of you that don't remember, I even posted it on my community. Yeah, I kind of like... my laptop died, and then I wanted to put the hard drive into a PC that I'm currently using. Then something stupid happened, and then my computer didn't work, and I fixed it today, but hey, there was a lot of stress involved, and what can I say? This video came, and this live stream came a bit later than I wanted. I wanted to live stream this yesterday. Make a video or live stream. But, yeah, I made a stupid call and bricked my computer completely. Anyway, enough about that. Like, share, comment, subscribe. You know the YouTube drill. If you can highlight... instead of eyeballing it, you can highlight sentences. That's a good... yeah, I didn't know about that trick. Hold on, let me try that. Let me try that. I actually didn't know that that's how it works. So Control C. Yeah, you're right. Yeah, but that's the thing. I actually, what you said, Blarg, makes sense, but the problem is, once I do that, it doesn't work, see? Because they make these slight changes in wording. I don't know what exactly changed here compared to this, but I can promise you the effects are the same. They just probably changed like a word order or something, and then it kind of like, yeah, so you kind of have to eyeball it, you know, you kind of have to. So, you know, that makes sense. That didn't occur to me, and it's an easy choice. It's an easy thing to do, but at the same time, as we've all seen, they like to change the wordings just slightly. See, like, your body now is simply a vessel. Your body spirit can become untethered. So, like, they change the wording, so you cannot really even do it. Anyway, enough about all of that. Game Cavalier, you missed everything. I'm done, dude. Thank you for going back and forth with this stream. I appreciate all of you very, very much. Drop some likes. I don't know. Check the video later. And with that said, Min-Max Munchkin out, and talk to you very, very soon. There's gonna be a couple videos that I'm preparing. Stay tuned for those, and until next time, out, peace, and goodbye.